Hello and welcome to PCMag Live. I'm Dan Costa, he is Max Eddy, and we've got a great show for you today. We're going to break down the top tech news of the day, answer one of your reader questions, and show you something very cool that we just pulled off the shelf in PCMag Labs. Max, let's get to the big story of the day. Over the weekend this came out. There is a big problem with Internet Explorer. It is a big problem for everybody that uses Internet Explorer pretty much. And it's going to be an even bigger problem for XP users.
A lot of people are probably expecting that the problem is that it's Internet Explorer, but actually it's much, much worse than that. This was an exploit found by FireEye. It affects Explorer 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which accounts for about 55%.
Evidently, Internet Explorer 5, totally okay.
Yeah, if you want to go all the way back to 5, and I don't even know what 5 had in it, but so this affects 55% of the PC browser market, and if you are on XP, you are not going to get a fix for it. So it's a really big deal. Right now, the best thing to do is pretty much just wait for the patch, and when it comes out, install it. And until then, don't use Internet Explorer, use Chrome or one of the other browsers. We have tons of reviews of all of them. If you are really, really fancy, Bitdefender tells us that if you are using a 64-bit version of Windows, you can run Internet Explorer in enhanced protection mode, but really, it might just be better to avoid the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's just what they call a zero-day attack, so that this is actually live, it's out there, it can be exploited right now.
It is already being exploited.
And there is no fix.
There is no fix. It's actually being exploited right now against U.S. financial institutions and military organizations, and the big fear here is that it's going to get put into an exploit kit, which means that anyone could use this as an attack, so they're trying to get it fixed as soon as possible.
Let's move on to our next story, which is not quite as significant, but very important to me personally.
I think this one hurt you.
It did hurt me personally. Comixology is ending in-app purchases. Comixology was just bought by Amazon, and they're ending in-app purchases in the iTunes store. So the way I've always used Comixology is you go, you buy comics, you just keep clicking buy, and you keep getting new comics, and that is fantastic. Now you're going to have to go to the mobile website in order to actually make these purchases.
Yeah, that's the important thing to remember, is that you still can purchase stuff from your iPad or your iPhone or your Android or whatever, but you have to go to the Comixology mobile site. It's pretty easy. I think you'll all figure out how to do it.
Yeah, but this is kind of sucks for users.
It sucks a lot for users. You know, this is just one more boundary for purchasing comics, and really we should all be purchasing more comics, but I think you've got a different take on it.
I do. Well, the thing that we often forget is that every dollar I spend on Comixology, 30 cents goes to Apple.
And that's because it's been in-app purchase.
Yeah, it's an in-app purchase, and this is for anything you buy on your iPhone or on your iPad. The PCMag Digital Edition, 30 cents out of every dollar we get for subscriptions goes to Apple. So that's a lot of money to give to Apple for just being a middleman. If you direct users over to the website, Amazon will be able to collect all that money.
Well, Amazon, and hopefully some of the comics creators as well. So in truth, this is probably better for them. But we'll have to see how it all plays out.
Indeed. Finally, an urban legend has been confirmed. Excavators led by a documentary film crew have unearthed stacks of 30-year-old Atari games. That's right, they have found E.T. in the desert.
They finally exhumed the up to 750,000 old Atari games. Many of them are apparently E.T. I checked, unfortunately, that the people who found this will not be making eBay bank. These are probably only worth about $7 to $20, especially since they've been buried underground for a long time.
And the thing is, this was the rumor. I mean, it was sort of an urban legend.
Yeah.
I think it got written up in the Times that when Atari hit hard times, specifically when they had too many copies of this E.T. game, that they literally buried them in the desert to get rid of them. Nobody really believed the story that much.
I believe this story.
But now it's actually confirmed, and it turns out this actually did happen, and they're pulling these cassettes out of the desert right now.
So those of you who are in Alamogordo, anyone out in that area of Texas, go out and check this out. There's a huge hole in the ground full of old Atari games.
Very cool. Let's move on to our reader question. This question comes in via email from Paulo. He saw on PCMag that Hulu started blocking VPN access to their streaming service. What's the deal with this? Why, VPN seems like a good thing. It's a secure connection.
Well, VPN is a good thing, but Hulu has some content that they don't always want you to be able to watch. So if this is affecting VPN users who don't have static IP addresses, if you want to be able to watch it, you're going to need to find a VPN service that will give you a static IP address. But why is this happening?
Yeah, it's really about licensing and control, and they don't want international users or viewers watching some of this content that hasn't been licensed for international distribution. I bet Hulu probably doesn't care. I think it's really the content creators just trying to ratchet down on illegal streams or unauthorized streams.
Unauthorized streams, that's right. And of course, a lot of that content that's on Hulu is available in other places as well.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to sort of get around it. I don't think this is going to be an ironclad thing, but if you're used to connecting via VPN, this is why it's not working anymore.
All right.
Very cool. Let's move on to our one cool thing.
The coolest thing.
The coolest thing. We test thousands of products here in our lab in New York City. Every day we take one thing off the shelf and show it to you. Today, that cool thing is this rather funky looking PC. It's the Cyberpower Zeus Mini. This is our new EC for mid-range gaming desktops. And mid-range at PCMag means this goes for about $1,800 because we test very high-end gaming units too, so that's the high end. So $1,800 mid-range, but you see kind of compact, small form factor, but plenty of gaming power packed in there.
It looks pretty cool too. It's got some nice angular design on it. It is a bit hefty, but I think you really could take it if you were take it someplace you really wanted to.
Yeah, nice selection of ports. Intel Core i7, liquid cooling system, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 120 gigabyte storage drive, boot drive, and then of course 2 terabyte hard drive to actually store all those games.
That's what I think is really the most exciting thing about this is it has both solid state and spinning platter drive, so you get the best of both worlds there.
Indeed.
And our analyst Brian Westover is telling me that this is a very good value. You got very good components in here, and for the price, it's actually pretty reasonable.
For $1,800.
And then just tack one of those 4K monitors on that we had last week, and you're good to go.
Could go. You can read Brian's full review on PCMag.com. He goes into a lot more detail. We're very excited about that product. That's PCMag Live for today. Thanks for joining us. And I'll remind you to send us your questions via email, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you need. We will answer them live on air. Thanks for joining us.
So long.